Hi everyone, this is Jacqueline from She Rises Studios and welcome to this Light the Torch ceremony honoring Dr. Dominique Carson, licensed massage therapist, award-winning writer, and the author of the beautifully reflective new release, Tribe. Trust requires integrity and beauty effortlessly. This book is a celebration of what it means to serve with integrity, to lead with compassion, and to embrace the beauty of healing from the inside out. Tribe is not just a philosophy, it's a reminder that trust is built on truth and that nurturing others begins with honoring the wholeness within ourselves. So let's light the torch and step into the sacred space of reflection, restoration, and realignment. Hi, Dr. Carson. How are you doing today?
I'm good. And yourself?
I'm doing awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today's show. And let's go ahead and dive right into it. The title of your book, Tribe, it's it sounds very powerful. What inspired it, and how does this reflect your philosophy on healing?
Well, it was inspired. It's actually touch requires integrity and boldness effortlessly. It was inspired by my coloring book that I did last fall. I released it last November, and it was just a fun and creative way to introduce people to massage therapy and get out of the narrative that we are masseuse. We're not masseuse. I just want to clear
Mm,
the air. Massage therapy or the healing arts profession, it takes a lot of time, takes a lot of commitment, education, studying varies from state to state. I know for me, being a New York City resident, I had to do 1,000 hours. So that's a lot of education, that's a
mm,
lot of time, that's a lot of traveling. And I wanted this book in a way to reframe from us being in that category and really continue to take us seriously in the healthcare profession. And I think that started to become the narrative after COVID, and seeing that
mhm.
massage therapy is more than just relaxation. It's people's pain medication management is falls in the complementary alternative form of medicine. It helps people with their active mobility. It helps people with stress, anxiety, depression, the acronym SAD. Because
Right.
when you're such in a rest and digest state, we're
Mhm.
stimulating your parasympathetic nervous system. There's a lot of scientific knowledge affiliated with massage therapy. And then I was also inspired by Dr. Susan Salvo's acronym ASK, because that's
Mhm.
really describes massage therapy. It requires a great deal of awareness, skill set, knowledge, an eagerness, and a desire. That eagerness and the desire is that you have to be passionate in this field and really take care of yourself, in addition to helping people with their self-care in order to have a long-lasting career in massage therapy.
That's wonderful. And, it's very insightful knowing that this is not just your regular massage where, you just want to fall asleep, you take a massage or something like that.
Mhm.
But this is an actual therapy where, there's healing that the goal is healing, not just for relaxation. Now, as
Yes.
a massage therapist, you describe touch as more than a technique. It's a form of communication. How did this come, how did you first come to realize of that?
I think I was able to realize that after being years in the field. I think when you're in massage school, you're trying to master the critical and evidence-based practices, which is crucial to
Mm-hmm.
have. But I think as the time goes by, you start to really understand the complementary aspect of it, the intuitive nature, the healing aspect of it. And to me, massage is more than more than touch. It's a convers. It's like my hands are having a conversation with your soul to
Mm-hmm.
establish peace and help you soothe the tension. That's where the trust comes in. That's what
Right.
makes you different from another therapist. If you don't
Mm-hmm.
have those qualities, your techniques just become technical. It doesn't become transformative or therapeutic. That's why I said again,
Mm-hmm.
you really have to be passionate in this field in order to be long term. And it still relates to the scientific aspect because we are the extension of nursing. Our field falls Department of Health in some states, the Board of Nursing, especially in Virginia, we're the Board of Nursing. And then in my home state, New York City, we're the Department of Health. So that tells you again, like, we are affiliated with healthcare being combined with traditional Western medicine. So I just think what for us is more uniquely based because we have such this intuitive nature to help people in their wellness and healing journey.
That's wonderful. Now, as you mentioned, touch is more than just a set of what you call that, touch, or like a 1, 2, 3 steps when you're doing your therapy. It's a bridge between a person's mind, body, and spirit. Even. Can you share a story where you saw this transformation actually happen?
I mean, I've seen it throughout my career, the 6 years that I've been a massage practitioner, but I love when you hear the feedback from the clients. Like, I knew massage is important for me, but I didn't know the intensity of it. I had a client say that my massage sessions, and he's a veteran, help him, get back to either 5 to 7 hours of sleep. Prior to massage sessions, he was not doing that. I had a client tell me it was like my massage sessions would help her bring back the life into her dead body. Like, these are the psychological aspects of massage therapy in addition to the physiological components of what we do. And that's when we were trained in massage school to take a psychology class, because that's the study of the mind. I was just at a woman function and I just did like mini chair massages on a few different women, and they were able to release so much like bondage and trauma or stress, just that few minutes of touch. And it just reminded me what a massage professor told me. Her name is Kira Nagel. Love this lady to death. She said, whatever is going on in your heart, it will be delivered in your hands. So that's why you have to check your inner heart to make sure that you're not adding your, toxicity or negative energy and negative patterns into those sessions. You want a great deal of synergy into the work, because it is a disservice for yourself and is a disservice for a client. So the minute I became licensed, that was my vow. And I've had bad news maybe 20 minutes before I got into a session, maybe 10 minutes into a session. But because of the vow that I made to myself, it's like when I go in that room, I get an opportunity to just do what I love and help people and be a part of that healing and that restful journey. And I tell people, I am not a healer. That's God. He uses me as a tool, as a vessel, and I'm just thankful for that. But seriously, you sometimes have to tell clients that, massage therapy is a part of your wellness journey. What do you do when you get off that table matters. And I think staying in that mindset helps me to stay humble. It makes me appreciate the gift that God has given me even more.
That's awesome. And as you've mentioned, there's that sense of connection when you start your therapy with your clients. And unfortunately, in our current very much digitized world, so many feel so disconnected. How does massage therapy and the values of Tribe, your book, help restore that human connection?
It goes back to what I said again with touch. You have to establish a level of trust. You're going to have clients from all walks of life. Maybe they've been in bad relationships. Maybe they've been in abusive relationships. They've been a victim of rape and sexual abuse. As a survivor of child sexual assault myself, I get it. And it takes a while for people to open up. But it all goes back to your cadence, your delivery, your professionalism, your eagerness to be in the field to make it a welcoming environment for the client to enjoy that massage experience. I remember fresh out of school, I dealt with a young woman that dealt with a lot of trauma with touch, and she was trembling on the table. And it was nerve-wracking to me, as a new fresh out of school massage student. But I just had to use my judgment and my ethics and values to make that client feel comfortable. We practiced her breathing. We added some aromatherapy. I checked in if she wanted to, terminate the session. It was up to her. You want to make it comfortable for the client to voice their opinion, voice how they feel, so they don't feel stagnant and stifled because you're taking care of a service. And she said, please proceed. Like, I need this. And from that point on, she was just getting massages. You just never know what people go through when you get on the table. And I've learned to just be more gracious, more empathetic. Sometimes I tell this to family members. Sometimes clients talk in the sessions because that's the defense mechanism that helps them feel comfortable. Because I said, you may be a client that likes to fall asleep on the table. You may have a client that loves to talk. You, as the massage provider, have to understand that you're going to have clients that loves to talk. And sometimes talking about you makes them feel comfortable, as long as there's still a boundary. There's a professional boundary that is not being violated across the board. But it's your job to read the room and set the stage for the client.
And, make those little adjustments just to make sure that the client feels safe. Now, for those that have not had a massage therapy, or maybe they have reservations about doing it, what would you say to them, and how would you encourage them to go and try it for themselves?
I mean, for me, just to be myself, I try to lighten the load. So I just come across a lot of people that never had massages, either young and old. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great. This is so normal. I promise you, more than likely, after getting an experience, it's going to change it. And I just give a little bit of mine. I remember when I first got mine at 17, I have not been the same ever since. It was something that I added. I wanted to add into my regimen, but I never thought I was going to be the provider. That was my grandmother, after massaging her, said I was going to have a career helping people with my hands. But I use that as a synopsis to get people to feel comfortable. I tell them, since, this is your first session, especially, we have a consent form. Just make sure you don't fall into any of the guidelines. Again, being professional and making them feel comfortable. And you say, since, this is your first session, I'm going to give you a pressure that I think you may feel comfortable with. You don't feel comfortable, please let me know. It's a disservice to you and yourself if you're not vocal in the session. We've had people laugh. We've had people cry in the session. I just had a session 2 days ago. A lady was crying because she was able to release so much tension and pain and murk and troublesome just energy in her body. Those are the explosive, and I mean explosive, those are the priceless moments that make your job worthwhile as a massage practitioner, because it reminded me of how I was at 17. I had such a high euphoria when I first got mine, and it's just something that people want to have into their wellness journey. And I understand circumstances, finances, you may not be able to get that every month, but I always tell clients, you want to get them 3 to 4 times a year, just overall maintenance. The best analogy I like to give is a car. You know how we go and get our maintenance check and our oil change every few miles? You have to do your body the same way, just for maintenance alone, especially if you have a lot of kinesthetic activities, if you're sitting at a desk for hours and hours in admin. And I can relate to that to something, because I used to work in call centers. I used to do 410, 412 schedules. And that could be a lot when you're sitting at a desk hours and hours. So I put a little bit of my life experiences just to make them feel comfortable.
That's wonderful. Going to your book, what do you hope your readers will carry with them after reading Tribe?
I just hope that in addition to the massage therapy coloring book, and now that we have an academic educational version, people really understand what we do and why we are now, being more respected as a healthcare professional. And just relaxation, you get to have an open lens of what we go through as massage therapists, from boundaries to creating the room. incorporating you into our careers, because you kind of got us, they kind of know if you're distracted, if you're not really into it, especially for their clients that have been receiving massages for years and years, and that we are here to stay. And I started the book with the father of sports massage, Benny Vaughn. Like, massage therapy keep us in touch with our humanness, because touch is such an innate desire that people crave, whether it's actual physical touch, mental touch, emotional. We want to touch people in some type of form of way. And that can be viewed positive or negative. But in this type of dynamic, you want it to be in a very positive and productive way for people to get comfortable with massages. And like I said, again, I really wanted to use this book to reframe and move out of that terminology of being a masseuse, because that's not what this is. Like, this is a licensed, fully accredited profession. And those guidelines and those education standards started in the late 70s and the early 80s because of those reasons. Why we have to remind people that we are licensed medical professionals. And the field is always ever evolving. It's going to be here for the rest of our days. I know people are a little bit concerned with AI, but massage is here to stay, because you can't duplicate the humanness of massage therapy. You can take the techniques and the strategies, but the impact is priceless.
That's true. That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and your heart with us, Dr. Carson. And today, clearly, we are reminded of the quiet power of human connection and the healing language of touch, and that no AI can replace that. And
Yes.
the sacred responsibility of those who care for others in their hands and their hearts, and that this particular book is truly a gift. So to everyone, to the massage therapy community, to caregivers everywhere, and to anyone seeking to live and lead with deeper trust, intention, and effortless beauty, this book is for you. If you haven't yet, we invite you to experience Tribe for yourself. The ebook is now available on Amazon, ready to bring you peace, purpose, and presence in your life in practice. Again, thank you so much, Dr. Carson, and thank you for sharing your story with us. Have a nice
Thank
day.
you.